good morning, and welcome to Nature Watch. Nature Watch is sponsored by Waddell's Nursery, Floral, Garden, and Bird Center at the corner of 12th Street and Millam Road. And now your host of Nature Watch, Gary Miller. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I am going to be so happy, like Michael Arney was saying, when the 131 construction through Schoolcraft is done.
Yes, that would be nice.
Oh, that would be real nice for you.
Yes. Much nicer. A lot easier to get across 131.
Maybe they can take the ragweed with them when they wrap up construction.
Yeah, there's lots of ragweed out there yet.
Oh, my. Okay, there have been reports that this is the worst week for many people, worst time of year, I should say, for allergies. I can attest to that because this entire last week has just been,
Just think how much worse it would have been if we'd have had rain, though.
Yeah,
all those molds and everything. So the rain keeps some of the dust on that down, but it brings other problems for people that have seasonal allergies, including me to some extent. So
right.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
but we need rain. We really need rain. Really dry.
Yes.
Wow. Really dry.
Yeah, you can see the dust blowing everywhere. A lot of the soybeans are being harvested
There's
right now.
There's dust clouds out there.
Yeah.
I think some of those dust clouds you can see from space. They're so big. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
They're just really dry.
Yeah. Did you happen? I missed the Northern Lights.
I have not.
We had a good chance at it Thursday night into Friday morning.
So actually, I'm going to talk about that a little later on because there's some good chances coming up here in the next couple nights.
More.
Ooh. Not so much tonight, if I remember right. I'll have to look. When we get into that, we'll talk about that a little bit. It's,
okay.
Good chance though, and last week I had a little snafu with trying to do the remote connect. I figured out after we were done with the show that I lost my Wi-Fi connection. It timed out.
Oh.
But I think we made it through okay.
Wait a minute. So you were actually on the phone line, technically.
I was on the phone line the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? For what it's worth, it worked out.
It worked.
Okay.
It worked.
There you go.
We were up in the Upper Peninsula. Actually, really nice up there, and we had perfect weather, just like it's been here this last week. Gets down to like upper 40s, maybe 50 or so at night. Gets up in the low 70s maybe during the day. Had perfectly clear skies. Very dry up there also. Not much fall color yet, and there are a lot of green up there yet. So it's another couple of weeks. I think we'll start seeing some color up there. It's hard to say how much color is going to be there because the few early trees that have turned, some of the red maples, the leaves turn red and they shrivel up and fall off right away. So it may not be fantastic color. We'll have to see. And of course, if we get rain's going to knock a lot of those leaves down too.
Now, I'm noticing quite a bit of color down here in our neck of the woods, but then again, it's part of that is, I think, due to us being so dry and the trees stressing out. Yeah.
Well, we got a lot of confused plants out there too. They're not quite sure what's going on.
Yeah.
So we've got plants that realize that they've been growing since maybe end of February or first part of March because we were so warm so early, and so those plants have been there for maybe decades or even longer, and they got a little bit of cool weather, and we had some moisture, and then it got dry, and we got warm again. And they're thinking, wow, that was a quick winter. And so they think it's spring again. So we have plants that are blooming, got new leaves coming out.
Isn't that kind of what we went through last winter anyway?
We seem like every year we say, wow, the weather was really weird this year. And it seems like every year we say that more frequently. Weather patterns have shifted a little bit, I think. So.
I noticed I saw some weather people talking online that we could have another tropical system, but this one is going to be kind of unique because it'll form in the Gulf of Mexico, from what they're saying, on the western shores of Mexico, and then head east, kind of like a regular
unusual
storm.
Yeah.
So
a regular storm heading east. That's unusual.
Western Florida might be under the gun. Of course, this is still days out, but it's still possible.
Yeah.
So more hurricane issues for that state. They
don't need any more.
No.
They don't need any more anything in the southeast. Oh my goodness, the rains they had some of the locations. Some places they were 24, 30 inches. Especially in the Carolinas, you get some of the back in the western part of the state, just tremendous rainfall.
They are going through so many problems down there with this. I feel for them.
Yeah, that's do. Well, that's not an area you typically think of hurricane or tropical storm damage either.
No.
You might get some effects, but nothing like, even near
Not,
that.
yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, again, when this storm, came through, I made the mention that it came through quickly.
Yes,
So
it did.
that was part of the problem. A lot of that storm's potency made it up into the Carolinas.
Yeah, but then it sat there.
Yeah.
And it just sat there. So, still seeing lots of deer and turkeys. In fact, on the way in this morning, I had to brake hard twice for deer that were just sauntering across the road out for a early morning stroll. Sort of looked at me wondering why I was on the road. So lots and lots of deer out there. And in fact, the one location, I had to brake for deer at the same location last night going home from work. And I think it was one of the same deer. It's a younger, half-grown fawn or so. And so I'm always wondering, okay, where's the next couple deer that are hiding back behind them somewhere and not coming bounding out in front of me or so?
When I'm on the road, I do that all the time. If I see a deer, I expect more. So,
well, most times that's true because most times there's more following. I think the deer have, to some extent, have become educated unless they're startled or somebody's chasing them or another buck is chasing another buck or so. Typically, at least I've noticed, they seem to stop a lot of times and sort of look both ways before they cross the road. But not always. But then they cross the road anyway, and they just they figure you're going to stop for them because they're just strolling across the road leisurely. So it's a lot of.
Can we stroll into trivia?
Yeah, we can because actually this one might take a little. I don't think so, but maybe we'll see.
I say that every week. You always throw this at me every single Saturday.
So this is sort of a different one. So this last week there was a comet A3 that's been in the news. It's actually visible. Actually, about last night or earlier this morning, I didn't have a chance to go out and see it. This morning, you might have been able to see it yet. Not going to be able to see it for about another week and a half. But then you can see it again with the naked eye. This is a unique comet. Chuchinshan is the name. It's actually named after the one of the observatories. Chuchinshan Atlas is what the official name of the comet is. Mm-hmm. And so my question this morning is, because this is sort of a very unique comet, when is the estimated last time that it passed Earth? And that's been in almost all the news articles. How long ago was it when the comet A3 passed Earth?
Oh,
it's quite a while.
This is going, yeah.
So,
okay, 382-4280. Do your research, kids. First one to successfully complete their homework assignment will get a $20 gift card from Waddell's.
We'll see how frantically they're Googling out there.
I'm going to start calling this homework because that is a tough one.
But I've had lots of people, they listen, they stop in. I run into them usually at the store, they stop in and they say, oh, we listen to you every week. And I always encourage them to call in. And I haven't had anybody really complain about the questions. So I think they like the challenge. Nobody's told me differently. I know you get a little concerned about having somebody be able to answer, but
try being the one running the station when he goes and does this. Yeah.
Jim just doesn't want to answer too many phones, I guess. I'm trying to watch the soundboard and everything else.
269-382-4280. When was the last time that comet A3?
Yeah, comet A3
passed by Earth,
also known as C-2023-A3 or Chuchinshan Atlas, and so it goes by its official name is C-2023-A3. Because it was just discovered last year. So that tells you it was been a while since it passed Earth.
Yeah.
Little hint there.
Good morning, WKZO. Who is this?
Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Hi,
Good
Susan.
morning.
Good morning. I'm going to say 3,000 years ago.
Oh, that's a pretty good guess, but you're really, really low in the number.
Okay, I guess I'm not as old as I thought. Thank you.
Well,
have a good day.
There you go. Try again. 382-4280. So we know 3,000 is wrong, and the number is much bigger.
Much bigger.
Much bigger.
Yes.
Okay. So
we'll see. So maybe another hint that I will give you is that they also made the comment when I saw some of the articles that the last time it passed Earth, our ancestors were just coming out of Africa. So a few years ago.
Good morning, WKZO. Who is this?
Good morning. This is Mary from Lawton.
Oh,
Hey, Mary.
Mary! Oh my goodness! I've been here since 2015, and I've been doing the helping out with the morning show off and on over the years, and you're a regular caller.
Yes, she is, because I've listened over the years, and
Yeah.
actually Mary's called in frequently.
I love it.
I love your show.
Thank you.
We love
I've
you
learned so
listening.
much.
I'll love you even more if you can give us an answer.
Okay, so repeat the question one more time for me.
So Comet A3, when was the estimated last time it passed Earth? And many, many years ago. How many years ago?
80,000?
Oh, you have the correct answer. See, that wasn't that difficult, Jim. And Mary from Lawton wins a gift card.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
There and you get to see Mary from Lawton at some
Yes.
point. Yeah, there you go.
So when you stop in the store, stop out in the nursery and say hi.
I will do that.
Okay, Mary, hold on the line so I can get your information and mail this out to you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You betcha. Thanks. And we will be right back with more Nature Watch here on WKZO.
Waddell's Nursery Florist and Garden Center's Apple Fest and Pumpkin Party continues today until 2 o'clock with fun for all ages. A Stuff a Scarecrow station, an apple launcher, a Create a Pumpkin station, a pumpkin bounce house, and more. Game passes that include the Apple Launcher, Bounce House, Corn Bin, Scavenger Hunt, and Apple Press with fresh cider tasting are just $3 for kids and free for adults. For the price of a pumpkin and just $3 more, have fun decorating pumpkins, including stickers, decoupage kits, and helpful ideas from Waddell's professional designers. At the Stuff a Scarecrow station, just bring your long-sleeved shirt and jeans. Waddell's will have the straw, burlap, stakes, and help for just $10 for kid sizes and $12 for adult-sized scarecrows. You'll also find locally grown orchard fresh apples at Waddell's from Schultz Farms. It's the Apple Fest and Pumpkin Party at Waddell's Nursery Florist and Garden Center, going on today until 2 o'clock. For more information, visit waddells.com.
You're just moments away from another local news update
So I can stay informed.
and prepared for anything going on.
on 590 and 106.9 FM WKZO.
We're talking about comets that just show up every 80,000 years or whatever. Nature Watch continues. It's Gary.
Yep. So one of the articles I had, actually, they said the last individuals to witness the celestial spectacle were our ancestors who first ventured out of Africa. And it's a very faint comet. They think it's mostly ice, and there was some potential reports. They think it might be falling apart when it sort of loops around the sun, and because it's mostly ice and a little bit of rock and debris, and thinking it might just sort of fizzle out.
Okay.
That has not happened. So they anticipate coming up here this about another week and a half that we're going to be able to see it much easier again.
Okay.
And so it was actually visible. You got to look east in the night sky, and if you, I know just the first part here in the last few days, looking east in the morning, just sort of before sunrise, you can see it, and it's very low in the sky. Unfortunately, it is really close to the sun right now, so it is difficult to see. But about the 12th or so, it looks like it's going to be about the closest to Earth again as it comes around the sun. And should be able to see it. And Shuchinshin is spelled, so just trying to do that phonetically, it's not phonetic. Well, I guess it depends on what part of the world you're from. It's Tsuchinshan. And it's actually the comet was discovered in 2023, and it was actually discovered twice. By two different observatories, one in China in Shuchinshan, and the other one.
Hence the name.
Hence the name, and the other part of the name is Atlas, Atlas, and that is actually an observatory down in Africa that many of the astronomers use, and that was that observatory. So they both got credit for that and naming it.
Oh, okay.
Sort of a common name for it. So watch. It also goes by Comet A3 right now, so you can search for that. Look for some pointers, Google that, and search for that to see if you can find it. And actually, if you want some help finding it, we have an event coming up next week.
Oh.
Actually, in a week and a half. Monday the 14th, so a week from this coming Monday, through the 18th, so Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. at Richland Township Park. The Kalamazoo Astronomical Society is going to be out there doing a Comet Watch event. And so they're actually going to have telescopes set up, binoculars, and have some of the members of the Astronomical Society help you find that comet, and you can actually look at the comet. Check their website out, because after 5 p.m., they'll post if they're going to cancel due to cloudiness in that. And that observatory in Africa was the official title is Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. So that was the atlas.
Oh, okay.
So neat chance to get out, and the Richland Township Park is very dark. So I know the Astronomical Society uses that very frequently for observations. And so it's a good chance to do that. So check out their website, KAS Online. And check out, they also have coming up next Saturday, another observing session at the Nature Center.
Oh.
And this one is on the Moon, Jupiter, Saturn, and Comet Chuchinchan Atlas.
Oh, okay.
So we can actually maybe get a chance to see the comet then a little bit, because about the 12th or 13th we should start being able to see it again. And check that out. That is moving up to 7 to 10 p.m. because it's getting dark earlier. So you don't have to stay up quite so late to observe some stars. And we've had some really clear skies. It's been nice if you can get by with losing some sleep, being able to get out and look at some stars in that. Or looking for the northern lights. So we have northern lights actually coming up, and the forecast right now for last night was just north of us here. But we were right at the southern extreme edge of what was potentially visible. Tonight, actually, and then the next one coming up, I believe tomorrow or Monday night, but tonight is actually a good chance of observing those. The observation line dips down into about the northern quarter to a third of Indiana and Ohio. So if we have clear skies tonight, and it looks like the skies are going to be fairly clear, might be a really good chance to see those northern lights. And sometimes the best times to observe those are actually just before dawn in the morning, so when it's still dark, and sometimes you can see those lights. They're hard to predict, so they get sort of if you go to the National Weather Service, NOAA, they have a prediction center, and it's an experimental tool to predict where the northern lights are. You can get a very brief forecast for the next 90 minutes. It's still hit and miss because they can't control it, and it doesn't always behave like they think it might. So you have a chance to see those northern lights and have a chance to get out there and be nice and cool and not have to worry about the mosquitoes flying around. Though they're still flying around during the day. But we're going to be seeing and hearing a lot about northern lights for the next couple of years, because we're in actually calling it Solar Cycle 25. And so we're going to have more sunspots, more intense magnetic activity. And the current cycle is expected to peak sometime between November of this year and March of 2026. So we're going to have numerous events here that will have more chance of seeing some more enhanced northern lights.
Okay.
And even down here. So it might be, especially when I have a chance to go north when they're predicted and get some clear skies, you can probably really see some fantastic displays. So we'll have a chance to see northern lights multiple times coming up here in the next couple of years.
Well, there you go. Well, we talk about everything nature here on Nature Watch. We're going to go from the stars to the birds, courtesy of Ginny. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Enjoy your show.
Thank you.
I have been a listener long, and I can't remember. I'm talking, I don't know, probably 50 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, we know it's not 80,000 years, so.
There you go.
Anyway, my topic is far removed from yours, but I'd like to know the situation with the hummingbirds. I still have my feet up, and I have not seen one lately, but I know that you can I could expect maybe to see some still traveling from way up north. But so what's your idea, or what are you thinking about them?
Yeah, so most of the hummingbirds have migrated now. There's still some of those, like as you mentioned, some of those laggards that have decided to stay as far north as they can, as long as they can. I have not seen any hummingbird activity by my feeders either, or any of the flowers. So I'm guessing they've pretty well migrated through. It would be beneficial to probably leave that up for another week or so, just observe, see if you see any activity. It's hard to tell whether they're going to stay a little north a little longer because it's been so warm. So it may.
Right. Right.
But you usually want to, after you last observe them at the feeder, you want to leave that feeder up for another week or a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks, just to make sure you don't have any of those late migrating hummingbirds coming through, just so they have something to eat if they do come through.
Sure.
But I think for the majority of them, have actually migrated south already.
Right. Okay. Yep. I feel so bad when I see some of the really tiny ones, because I think, a few weeks ago, and I think, oh dear, I don't think they're going to make the trip. But,
yeah. So actually, they typically do. It's amazing because they have that instinct to go south, and despite their size, hummingbirds are all small, but the younger ones are even smaller. And despite their size, they usually go as a small group. Not a very large flock of hummingbirds, but usually those younger juveniles will go tag along with mom and dad and try to mom and dad help guide them to the south. And so they will frequently stop a little more frequently just to feed a little more because they need that energy. I can just hear the young hummingbirds asking mom and dad, "Are we there yet?"
Well, that's good to know. That's really good to know, because I was not aware of that. So. Okay, well, enjoy your show. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your comment and question, Jenny.
Yeah, thank you. We do appreciate it. 382-4280, 877-382-4280. You can text to 80373. We have about a couple of minutes left.
Yeah, so we had actually last, when we were up in the Upper Peninsula end of last week and after the show on Saturday morning, we actually took a drive and went through part of Seney Wildlife Refuge. Didn't see a lot of birds. Saw a few. There was actually some tundra or trumpeter swans out there that they actually have a breeding population, and they basically stay in that area for the winter. They usually try to find some open water. I was actually talking to one of the rangers at the wildlife refuge, and she said they typically don't migrate very far because they just try to find one of the rivers that has an open pool or so, and so they have some open water for water for the winter.
That's interesting. Yeah.
There were a few ducks and Canada geese everywhere, but not a lot of activity. You saw a few of the sparrows that were migrating through, one including the Savannah sparrow, which you don't see very often. I was looking at the report of what birds migrated through Kalamazoo County or over Kalamazoo County last night. They estimated we had over 1.3 million birds that crossed the county, including some white-crowned sparrows. Now, some of those white-crowned sparrows that nest far north, some of those stick around this area for the winter. I've seen them at my feeder periodically in the wintertime. And haven't seen a lot of big flocks of sandhill cranes yet, which is sort of unusual. Of course, we get a lot of crops in fields yet, so we should start seeing those flocks getting quite large.
Oh, okay.
I've seen some big flocks of blackbirds, several of them sitting on irrigation pivots. And
isn't that
lines.
all we ever see in the winter is blackbirds, crows?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So
there's your sign.
Beautiful weather out. So next Saturday is World Migratory Day, Bird Migratory Day. So it's actually a neat day to observe birds and maybe stay up at night and try to seize those birds in the dark.
I will even say it myself. Get out and enjoy nature now, because I'll tell you what, come a month or two down the road, you may not want to.
or maybe you don't have to worry about mosquitoes. You don't have to worry about mosquitoes in a couple months.
Oh, yeah, that's true, but.
It's always a bonus that way.
For those of us who hate snow shovels and all of that's where I'm coming from here. All right. Hey, Gary, thanks. Are you working today?
Yes, I am. We got our pumpkin apple event going on, so
yeah,
a lot of neat activities for the kids. And,
I'm sure Andy's going to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, too.
There you go. Thank you, Gary, and thank you for listening to this edition of Nature Watch. Tune in each Saturday at 8:30 for Nature Watch, brought to you by Waddell's Nursery, Floral Garden, and Bird Center at the corner of 12th Street and Millam Road. CBS and local news up next, and then Andy Woodell in studio with Over the Garden Fence right here on 590 and 106.9 FM WKZO.